Hi, I'm Rick Steinauer, and we're on April the 30th of 2024. I'm with the Nebraska Veterans Memorial Foundation Share Your Story Project, and I am speaking to a veteran here whose name is
Terry G. Brown.
Mr. Brown, who has agreed to share his story with Library of Congress Veterans History Project and the Nebraska Memorial Park Project. Okay. Where were you born, Jerry?
Scottsbluff.
Okay. How old are you?
75.
Had to stop and think about that, didn't you?
No.
What your parents then? What did they do here?
My dad was a janitor for a while, and then he was he just did odds and ends at co-op. My mom worked at dime store, like green stamp store.
Just different stores.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
I got 3 brothers.
Are they all older, younger?
They all got sisters. They all got wives too.
Oh. Are they older or younger than you?
They're older than me. I'm the youngest.
Okay. You said that they're all older. Any of them go to the service at all?
Yeah. My brother Bob was in the Air Force.
Okay. What was his job?
I have any idea.
Okay. What high school or schools did you attend here? Did you high school, college, anything like that?
No, this is high school in Mitchell.
In Mitchell?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you enlisted in the Navy?
Yeah.
What did your parents think about you going to the service?
Well, it was better than being drafted.
Okay. Yeah, it was during the Vietnam draft.
Yes, it was.
Okay. What year did you go in, Jerry?
68.
Okay, and you got out how long? How long were you in the service?
2 years.
Okay. Were you married before you joined the service?
No.
How long after?
Oh, I don't know, 10 years.
Oh, quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hold any jobs before you went to the service?
Oh yeah, lots of jobs.
Well, just give me a hint.
Put up sprinkler systems and odds and ends. Worked at sugar factory, and then I became a carpet cleaner. For the rest of the time I was...
Just different things.
Yeah.
Okay. How old were you when you went in the service? Do you remember?
Oh man. 19.
Okay. So you mainly went into the service to avoid so you could select whether.
Well, either did that or go to the Army, and I'd rather go to the Navy.
Okay. Where did you go in? What was your point of entry for the Navy? Here in Scottsbluff?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Gearing, yeah.
Okay.
And then they sent me to San Diego.
San Diego for recruit training?
Yeah.
Okay. What was, did you go to any other schooling after the San Diego, after boot camp?
No, I left boot camp and they assigned me a ship, and that's where I went.
Okay.
Well, I come home for 30 days, and then...
And what you were assigned to a ship but not a job at that point?
No, just a ship.
Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. And what ship was it? Do you remember?
U.S. Wilsey.
Wilsey?
Yeah, 644.
What?
It was a destroyer.
Okay. Not an escort. It was full destroyer.
Yeah, it was a full destroyer.
Okay. What was the complement? Do you remember?
I don't know. There was 13 ships there.
Oh, no, I mean how many was on board the ship?
Oh, I don't remember. Man, there was a bunch. I don't know.
Well, normally they were like between 300 and 600, depending on the ship.
I don't know.
Okay.
There's an after and an engine room. There's a forward engine room. There's a boiler room, and there's a after boiler room.
Which is where you were assigned.
Yeah, and I was in the after boiler room, so
Okay.
or engine room.
Okay. You didn't start the mess just like everybody seems to?
No, I don't understand that. Why I didn't though.
Yeah, because a lot of them went right to the kitchen when they joined a ship for a while.
Yeah,
You got lucky.
yeah.
What was your job?
Just going around and reading. Started out just reading meters,
Okay,
so everybody had to know what the temperatures and everything is.
okay. Make sure that everything was.
Everything
where it
was
should
up to yeah, to where it was supposed to
be.
be.
Was that mainly in the forward engine room or just in general?
It's in the after engine.
After engine room.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Now this wasn't a missile destroyer. This was.
No, it's just a regular. No, it was an old type.
Okay.
The older type.
The World War II Korean.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the size propulsion system it had at all?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't remember all that stuff.
Okay. When you, you check gauges, did you go up anything beyond that, or was that
No.
pretty much your whole job while you were there?
Yeah, it was mainly my job of taking readings,
Okay. So you went in.
staying out of the way of the people.
You went in as a seaman,
Yeah,
recruit, and then what?
ended up with a FA.
With a what?
That's a
Fireman's
FA.
apprentice.
Yeah,
Okay. And that's where you came out as an FA?
Yeah.
Is that that's a 2, isn't it?
yeah.
Okay. Where did you go? Where did your ship go?
We went to Hawaii for, a week. And went to the Philippines for a couple of days.
So let me back up a moment. You joined it out of San Diego?
Going to Vietnam.
Okay.
And then we went to Japan, Sasebo, Japan for a month because they had to redo the boilers.
Oh.
They didn't do that while they was in dry dock, but you know.
So when you joined it, was it still in dry dock or had it been?
No, it was out of dry dock then.
It was out of dry dock.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't. I don't know why they didn't change all that, but they didn't.
And you went to Hawaii on the way there. And
Yeah.
Then where else?
Well, we went to Philippines somehow.
Okay, Subic Bay.
I don't remember where it was. It was just a stopover for a day,
Oh, I see.
or a day
Sure.
or two.
Yeah.
Then we went to Sasebo, Japan, and then we went down there to, I don't know how we got there. We went to Vietnam from there,
Okay.
and
Do you remember your port of call in Vietnam?
no,
Up to Saigon River, or?
I don't even know where we was. We was a little ways off,
Oh, okay.
about 3 miles.
Oh, you stayed offshore.
Yeah,
Okay, so you
never got up that close.
okay. How long were you in Vietnam?
3 months.
Just 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what?
Came back towards the end of the month, end of the war.
Oh, okay.
And so then we stopped at Yokosuka, Japan on the way back. We only spent a couple of days there.
Did you get to go to shore in Japan, or
Yeah, both places.
what'd you think of that?
Well, it was nice then. That was all I know. I just stayed mostly on the base.
Okay, but
At the
I
pier.
understand.
Yeah.
Didn't go out to the populace?
No. Didn't take the property.
Okay.
Go out there and see the people. Don't speak that language very good.
When you first went in the service in the Navy, what did you think of going into service? You noted before that you were mainly avoiding the draft.
Yeah.
But do you feel like you made the right choice going to the Navy?
Oh yeah. I knew how to swim anyway.
That's a plus.
Yeah, that helped a lot. When you have to go through basic and take your pants off and tie knots in them, and yeah.
Throw them over your head to catch air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember any of your, like a basic training, you remember any of your instructors or anything at all? Anything, what they were like, or?
Well, most of them were pretty dang good.
Yeah. feel like they knew their job?
Yeah, they did a good job.
Okay,
They had us well trained.
good. Do you have any sharp memories of the recruit time?
Nah,
Recruit training?
nah. I remember that, all I remember is that them guys were messing around or something and they had to do jumping jacks and I was a MP on the bridge so that on one side was which where you start out on one side. They didn't want anybody escaping through the canal to the ocean, you know, so I got lucky to go out and do that without doing jumping jacks.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You had a completely different job as a recruit,
Yeah.
so that worked well for you.
Yeah.
Now, when you finished recruit training and you went home for 30 days, did you get your orders before you left or when you got back?
Oh yeah, no, before I left.
Before you left.
Yeah.
So you knew you were going to aboard a destroyer.
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't know what your job would be.
No, I didn't know that. They just had to give you a packet of whatever you're gonna do, and you give them to the cap or whoever's on the ship, you know.
And then they decide where they're
Yeah,
going
and
to
they decide where you go. Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of your job as, checking gauges and doing that?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, the only part I didn't like was going crawling down the bilges.
Now, what's
Cleaning the
describe the bilge.
bilge is the bottom of the ship,
Okay.
the bottom part,
And
and it gets oil and all kind of disgusting things down there. And
gets dirty is what you're trying to tell me.
yeah, it gets real dirty,
I see.
black.
And why would you have to go into the bilges?
It's because it wouldn't clean out. The pump,
Oh, the pump
Pump.
wasn't working.
well, it won't go that deep. It only goes so far.
I don't understand that. Can you
Well,
explain that?
They have a filter on them, and it only goes down so far. And there's always water in the bottom of your ship.
Okay.
It's just dirty water. And
Okay.
you don't want that in place. You don't want it out there either. But I mean, it only pumps up so much.
And you had to go into bilges to clean? Is that
Yeah,
what you were doing?
to clean
To clean the pumps or make sure they're off?
well, clean all the bilges so they're clean, so you don't have stuff falling down there to block up
Debris or whatever
Yeah.
that can cause problems.
Right.
Okay. Were you working alone to do that or with other people?
Oh no, there was a couple other kids and a couple other guys there too.
And I think you just made the right statement. You were all kids.
Yeah, we were all kids then.
Yeah. Not old enough to drink.
Not old enough to do anything, yeah. You have to learn that as you go.
Okay.
That's why you start at the bottom, not the top.
Literally the bottom, huh?
Yeah, that's about as far down as you can go in a ship.
Any further and you're swimming for sure.
Yeah.
How large a ship would you say that was? I mean, 300 feet, 500 feet, or any ideas like that?
Oh, damn, but probably about 300 feet long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it one screws or two screws?
Two screws.
Two screws.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, were these run by from a forward engine room and a rear engine room separately?
Well, whatever the forward engine room rings, that's what the back one has to do too.
I see.
So
they match, but
they match.
I guess I'm not clear.
One side is for the forward engine room, and the other one's for the
That's
after
what my
engine
question
room.
was.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
but you still have to be the same.
Yeah.
Now you turn in a circle.
Okay. And you said you went to Hawaii just for a day or two?
Yeah.
Okay, and then moved on. So
Yeah, then we went on.
Okay. So you didn't get a chance to go aboard or ashore there?
No,
Okay.
but I did see some of it. We were anchored out,
Oh, okay.
so
So you could see it from a distance?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad you didn't get a chance to go.
Yeah, well, it is, but
Yeah. Well, and then you said you went to Vietnam or
Yeah.
to Japan next for repairs.
no, we went to Japan, yes. because the boilers, the tubes were leaking in the after boiler room, and
What does that mean?
well, that's what makes steam
Okay.
to turn the turbines, and which is the
Propulsion?
propulsion, yeah.
Okay.
And so the tubes were leaking, and they had to stop and put brand new tubes in.
Tubes where? I mean,
They're in the,
that run the steam or run the water or what?
they run the steam, they run the propulsion.
Okay.
And in order to make steam, to turn your turbines, then you have to have, it's I don't know, it's big, and they run tubes in there.
Okay.
And the tubes are inside so they get hot, and that makes steam,
Okay.
and that turns the turbine.
Okay. But the tubes got damaged somehow?
Yeah, somehow they didn't change them out when they were supposed to.
Even during dry dock?
Yeah, wherever it was. It was pretty old by the time we got to it.
Okay. So a very old ship?
Yeah,
So probably a Korean War vintage? Or
it probably wasn't.
maybe even WW2?
Yeah, might have been. Not quite that old, but
Okay. So how long were you in Japan? And who did you help do the repairs or just?
no.
Okay.
But I did help load the ammo.
Okay. You,
We had 16-inch turrets,
oh, okay.
front and aft.
Wow. So you had big guns.
Yes.
Okay. And no missiles at all?
No, not in them days.
Okay. And then you say you went to Vietnam, but you never touched shore in Vietnam?
No, we stayed about 3 miles off.
Okay.
The destroyer is the one on the outside that protects the carrier who's 5 miles away.
Okay. And how long were you on that post? Any ideas?
And I'd say about 3 months. Up and back. We'd go down the coast, and then we'd turn around and go back up the coast.
And this is shadowing a carrier all the
Yeah.
time? Okay. How many?
Plus there's 13 of them in a group.
13 ships?
Yeah.
And can you give me an idea of what ships besides the
No.
destroyer and
We're the outside ones, so that's all I really know.
Okay. So what were the outside ones? Any more, just other destroyers, or do you know?
Just destroyers.
Okay. Strictly for protective screen?
Yeah.
Okay. And you never had fire missions at all into Vietnam?
Never shot back at them. They shot at us, but we didn't shoot back.
Now, clarify that. What do you mean they shot at you?
Well-
Snipers or heavier fire than that?
I don't know what they shot, but they hit 300 yards behind us.
Oh,
So,
okay. So it was like some sort of artillery?
yeah, it probably was. I don't know. They didn't say that.
Okay.
They just said that they hit 300 yards behind us.
But you didn't see it, you were told
No,
about it?
I was in the engine room.
Well, that's hard to see that way.
Yeah, it's dark out
You
too.
think? So, okay. So you never, okay, you were shadowing the carrier.
Yeah.
And then for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then what?
Then we went back to, I don't know, back to
San Diego?
Japan.
Oh, back to Japan.
We went into Japan at the bottom part of Yokosuka is on the bottom of top side, I guess it is.
Okay,
And then we came home to San Diego.
okay. And then, so you stayed at San Diego. So that's about, what, the first year of your tour?
Oh yeah, probably. Let's see, we got out in June. I think I got out June 17th or something like that.
Remember what year that would have been?
1970.
1970, okay. Now I'm a little confused. You said you were in 2 years, and you were in Vietnam. What about the other year is my question.
Well, we spent them in San Diego.
Okay. You were in San Diego for a year
Yeah.
before you were mustered out?
Often we'd go out and just for a rendezvous, out and
Sort of a practice run?
yeah, practice run and
Okay.
destroy a target that they put out there or something,
Oh, okay, so Okay,
Yeah.
so you would attack a target.
Yeah,
Okay. And you spent all of your time in the engine room.
yeah.
Okay. And now obviously you didn't check gauges for 2 years. What did you do later?
That's all I did.
Was check gauges?
Cleaned the bilges and
And
yeah,
check gauges. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was your job.
yeah,
Okay, well, I'm just asking.
yeah.
So, did you make a lot of friends or some friends or no friends?
Oh, made some of the friends, but
Did you keep in touch with them at all?
no.
So once you were out, you were gone.
I was gone. I went home and didn't worry about them at all.
Okay. Okay. Do you recall any particular humorous or unusual events while you were aboard ship, or things that happened, or things that were funny? Or
There ain't nothing funny about the Navy, let me tell you. They're serious. Yeah.
but I mean, there was no, birthday parties, anything aboard ship that were different?
No. We never, it was sort of small. The galley was very small,
I see.
so,
Yeah. But do you remember the names of any of your cohorts?
was a guy named Tacker. He lived in Texas, somewhere in Texas, I don't know where.
Did he have family, or do you remember?
Yeah, suppose he did, I don't know.
When you're speaking of family, you're aboard ship.
Yeah.
Did your family stay in touch with you in letters or calls or anything?
They wrote me letters, yes. I don't write very good back.
Yeah, right. They wrote in, but maybe you didn't write out.
Well, I write a letter once every 3 months, if the
Oh, I
most.
see. Okay.
And not too much of it correspondence. I had to make phone calls. I did make a couple of phone calls.
So you were in San Diego though quite a long time.
I was in San Diego most of the time, yes.
What did you do while you were in San Diego and not aboard ship?
Oh, we went to the zoo.
What else?
It's smaller now. Oh, not really. Went down to, some people got tattoos. I don't get one of those.
Say again?
Tattoos, I don't have one of those.
Okay.
Most of them just, nothing really, just watch
Did
movies.
you go out drinking or anything? Or
No, no.
partying, nothing like that?
No, well, I did some drinking, but not partying, We did that on, some guy had an apartment up there, and we went to his apartments on weekends sometimes.
Okay.
But not really go out partying.
Well, okay, not that and not that. What did you do for recreation, just to entertain yourself? Anything? Did you have any hobbies or things you like to do?
We threw dice.
Oh, you like to gamble?
We played dice sometimes. We played, hit the chain. We'd take our dog tag chain off and throw quarters at it or dimes, and that was our entertainment.
That was it, huh?
Yeah,
Trying to win a few quarters.
yeah. Few bucks to go on shore. That's all.
Well, you have any good memories about all this service time?
Nah, not really. It was like 2 years out of my life is all.
So it was nothing you wanted to do or enjoyed, it was just that you were required to do so?
Yeah, it was something that the government decided that I should do this, and
What were your officers like aboard the ship?
they were really, most of them were really good.
Can you clarify that?
Most of them were really good.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that they didn't pick on you or anything.
Okay. They let you do your job
They
without
let you do your job, and that's it.
Okay.
Some of them don't. Well, there's one of them didn't. I can't remember his name.
In the engine room, was it a petty officer in charge or an officer?
No, it was a chief.
Chief petty officer?
Chief petty officer, yeah.
And he was in charge of the engine room?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess another question too. You said that when you were in Vietnam that they fired at you, but from a distance, that you never even was aware of it.
No, I wasn't aware of it. That's what they told us.
Okay, because you were in the engine room and didn't hear or see
Yeah,
anything.
we didn't hear nothing.
Okay,
The guys on watch or something had told us that
okay,
they shot they were
Okay.
300 yards behind us.
okay. So, and then when you went back to San Diego, the ship was just parked? You said
Yeah,
occasionally it would go out on an operation?
well, when we got back to San Diego, then they mustered us out.
Okay,
So, didn't take long. We was only there a couple of days.
oh, okay, now again, I'm confused. You're in for 2 years. And now you're saying you went right back to San Diego and were mustered out. Now,
Well-
what happened in between?
You have to get there.
Well, I know, but
It takes a while on the ocean.
okay. And you were there in the Navy for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly what they figured out.
When you mustered out in San Diego,
Yep, I did.
then you mustered.
Then I had to fly home.
Okay. And you flew home to your family.
Yep.
Okay. And any thoughts at all about your crew or your ship or Vietnam or any of that?
Well, they were all easy to get along with, let's put it that way.
So it wasn't a strenuous situation?
No,
Okay. You didn't get in any trouble?
no. Well, you can't. They don't have very good brigs on there. No, we don't have any trouble with anybody.
Okay. Anybody stand out that you remember at all?
Hell, I don't even remember seeing the captain.
Oh, really? Wow. What was the reception like when you left your ship and went back home? What was the reception like back home? Were they happy to see you? Did you run into any
Oh
problems?
yeah, they were happy to see me, but they forgot to tell me they moved.
They forgot to tell you they moved.
Well, it was in between, like a week, and they didn't tell me they moved from Mitchell to Scotts Bluff. So I mean,
How did you find them?
I had to call them.
Where are you?
Yeah, so where you guys at? I thought you lived in Mitchell. You don't live at Mitchell? We moved to Scotts Bluff.
Wow. Now, what kind of work did your family do? Or your father or whatever, whoever was the worker? You said he was a farmer?
No, he worked as a custodian
Oh, that's
in a
right.
high school.
Okay.
And then they moved to Scotts Bluff, and they went to work for a co-op, which is a appliance store.
Okay.
They deliver appliances, so that's what he did.
When you returned, what kind of work did you do?
Oh, heck, I can't even remember all the jobs I
Or
had.
just what sticks out in your mind, or one that you liked or one that you didn't like? Or
Well, the one I kind of liked it was putting up sprinkler systems,
okay,
and we did that. I did that all summer long.
okay. What did you do as you got older?
Then when I got older, I went to work for the sugar factory.
Okay, and how long did you work for them?
Oh, for 3 or 4 years, and then I went to work for this other guy cleaning carpets,
Okay,
and I did that for the rest of my life
okay.
till I retired.
And you say you got married somewhere along the way?
Oh yeah, while I was cleaning carpets, I learned.
I see.
I met my wife.
And tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, there ain't much to tell you about that.
I mean, you met her, you didn't marry her the next day.
No, but I met her. I probably went with her for 4 weeks, and then we got married. Then I sent her off to school to be whatever she was decided to be. I haven't seen her in 43 years, but
Oh, so it was a short marriage?
no, well, we're still married.
Or you're still married, but
I
you
just haven't seen her.
I see. So you never got divorced?
No, we haven't got divorced.
Okay. And I take it from what you said, you didn't continue any friendships after you got out of the Navy?
No,
Did you join any veterans organizations?
no.
Okay. How do you What do you think, how military service might have, just the experience itself might have affected your life?
It hasn't really affected my life any. Maybe stronger.
Did you, your overall experience, do you think it broadened what you saw and believed, or
I don't know.
do you have an opinion overall about the Vietnam War itself?
Well, no, I don't have an opinion for it. I don't like it, but you know, I don't like Vietnam.
Okay.
Don't like communists.
Is most of your family still alive or not?
No,
Are
my
your
mom
brothers?
and dad are dead. All my brothers are still alive.
Okay. They're all three still alive?
Yeah,
And you said they're all three married?
yeah,
So you have nieces and nephews?
yeah, lots of them.
Lots of them. Okay. So if they're older than you, are they also retired?
Yeah, they're retired.
Okay. Where are they now?
One's in Casper, one's in Torrington, and one's in Omaha.
Okay. Is there anything at all you'd like to add here? Remember, you're talking to future generations. Anything you'd like to add at all?
Nah, I think we covered pretty good to cover that.
All right. Listen, thank you very much, Jerry. Do appreciate it, and you take good care.